This is the plaintiff, Shahrouz Hamidi Hashemi. He says he rented a room in the defendant's apartment, and as time went on, he became more and more uncomfortable around the lady. There was underage drinking going on there with her son, strange people in and out, and even an illegal hair salon on the premises. When he told the defendant he was going to move out, she snapped. He was locked out, had no clothes for work, and is suing for the $570.75 he's owed. This is the defendant, Joanna Lee Mindribo Sleeper. She says the plaintiff turned out to be a heavy drinker and was like a real-life Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The guy even ran out of the house one night and locked himself out. Bottom line, this lawsuit's absurd. She owes him nothing and is going to be happy when all of this is over and he's out of her life for good. She's accused of an illegal lockout.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Shahrouz Hamidi Hashemi?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. You are suing Joanna Lee Mindribo Sleeper?
Yes.
For security deposit, back rent, and lost wages for locking you out. She is your former landlord. What's going on?
Well, Judge, on August 26th, I signed a lease with Joanne Sleeper, and it was a 3-month lease that I signed with her. And I ended up staying a couple months extra than that. And in the part of our lease agreement was that I give her a 30-day notice before I moved out. To make a long story short, I would tell her that we ended up not working out. Now
Why wasn't it working out?
It just didn't work out. And
I'm asking why it didn't work out.
There was a lot of things that we probably disagree on and didn't like.
Why didn't it work out? Why can't you just say why it didn't work out? What was the problem?
There was just a lot of problems.
You can't name one, even though I asked you 3 times?
Well, the problems being...
Why didn't it work out? Was this a roommate, ma'am, was this a roommate situation? You were renting a room in your house?
Yeah, my daughter's room.
Okay,
She's in college.
so it's pretty close quarters. You were sharing a kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you suppose was the reason it didn't work out? Just generally.
Well, I guess, we had a little bit of a sexual relationship in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And when I decided, it just was not working or whatever, and my son and him became kind of like buddies, and so I felt it was kind of...
Who's your son?
This is my son, Lloyd.
Okay.
I felt it became kind of inappropriate, you know what I mean? Because he's older, and it's just, I don't know, it's just too close. And
Yeah, you don't think you made it a little too close? Really? You have to think about that one? I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't think that you made it a little too close, too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who does your son think he is, making friends with the tenant? I mean, you're sleeping with the tenant?
Oh, no. But he didn't. He just started to notice, and I just
Okay, so now I guess he was trying to be either a gentleman or he's embarrassed or whatever other reason that he didn't want to tell me what. But whatever the reason is, you decide to give 30 days notice. Is there a question about the notice?
Yes.
Oh, there is a question about the notice. According to you, when did you give 30 days notice?
November 28th.
Okay, and what happens?
She kind of flipped out. She wasn't too happy with the circumstances. She kind of spoke about herself in the third person.
Saying what?
Saying, how could you do this to her? This is not right. You do that to her. And it was until, like I say, about 5 to 10 numerous times, I actually had to call her son to remove her from the room, or else I threatened to call the cops on her.
Okay, had she ever spoken about herself in the third person like that before?
Not like that. That was all a whole new coincidence for me.
Okay, how well did you know her?
Well, we lived in the same house. I come home from work.
What you're describing is either a psychotic episode or she's high or drunk. What is it you are saying, that she was having a psychotic episode?
I don't know, but she snapped, and I don't know if she was trying to cause me to have a physical confrontation with her, so I was trying.
So did you call the cops?
Absolutely. The cops came. I came downstairs. I'm in my shorts and wearing a jacket and a T-shirt, and I go out there. It's November 28th, so you know how the weather is. So I go out there to the cops, and I'm telling them what happened. They're like, oh, we come here all the time. We're getting sick and tired of these people. And they were. Then I came back in, said, can we go in and talk to them? She's like, sure. Somehow the door is barricaded.
And the time that you had lived there, had the cops ever been there?
Yes.
How often?
I say 4 to 5 times.
Over what?
Disputes between son and Joanne.
Okay. Do you have any evidence of that? Any printouts?
I do not.
Okay. So when you try to get back in, what happens?
The cops were like, well, we can't get in. I have a key to the door. I couldn't get in. Somehow they barricaded the door. I don't know.
Who's they?
Joanne and her son. I don't know which one.
You think he was part of it too?
As far as what, barricading the door? I have no proof who actually did. All I know is that.
Did you have a good relationship with the son?
We had a fine relationship. I don't know.
So now you can't get back in, so what do?
So the cops are asking me, listen, we've been having problems with these people for a long time. Give us permission.
Do you have a police report?
I have a police report.
Does it talk about all the problems they have with these people all the time?
This is a court order from the judge indicating to allow me back on the premises to get my stuff out.
Because the police could not get in that night.
Right.
So what did you do?
They ended up giving me a ride to let me stay at my mother's.
Okay. And then you're suing for security deposit, which we'll talk about in a second. Lost wages because you didn't go to work the next day?
That is correct. I couldn't get to my clothes.
What do you do for a living?
I was working at the time for a collection agency.
Okay. Do you have any proof of what you make a day?
I do not.
How are you going to prove your lost wages? That's how people prove lost wages.
Okay.
It's not like, I'm not being tricky. It's pretty elemental. If you want to prove that you had $150 in lost wages, you bring me proof that that's what you make a day, you know? You're suing for the security deposit.
Correct.
Do you have a lease?
Yes.
Okay, let me see the lease. And do you have proof that you paid the security deposit?
No, I don't have proof that I pay the security deposit. I thought the lease would stand for that I pay for the
But how did you pay? Cash or a check?
I pay cash. That's all she would
And you don't
take.
have a receipt for it?
I do not.
Okay, let me see what you have for proof for the 310.
This is the other paperwork is for the
Do you
courts.
have the police report from 11/28?
That's the court order from.
Okay, the court order will do. The court order would be what, 11/29?
Yeah, this is the court order with receipt that I have for.
And then you're suing for the rest of that week's rent that you didn't get to use up because, according to you, she locked you out.
Absolutely.
All right, let me hear your side of this, Miss Mendribo Sleeper.
The night in question of the supposed lockout, he was violently drunk. After he locked himself out.
But tell me what happens before he came in lock him or he locks himself. Tell me what happens before. He tells you he's not going to keep renting.
Right. Well, yeah, he came home like a little bit late, and he sat down. He's like, all right, I could stay till Saturday, or I could stay till a month from Saturday. And so we're sitting there, my son and I, and we're like, I don't understand what you mean. I said, why don't you just say, did you found another place? Because we were trying to figure out if we could make it work. And I don't know if we had all the evidence, but I have notes that he used to leave around the house, like, this is a terroristic threat to make sure I never see my son again.
Wait, yeah, no, I'd like to see the terroristic threats to make sure you never see your son again. What are you talking about? Okay. What is this, doodling he did for you?
Yeah, because, we had a little thing there, and, it was cute, and then when he, it went away, then it really went away, and he started drinking a lot, and we had some family meetings, because I'm Native American, we'd pass around a talking stick to kind of work it out, and that's to the point we were at, kind of, on that day, which, by the way, didn't give me 30 days notice, because the lease period ended on the 27th or 28th. So when he actually came in from work that day, he was already drinking. He was walking around with a pint bottle of vodka like this, and in the other hand, a Gatorade bottle with the mix in it like this the whole night. And when he ended up leaving, But
he says he left because he called the police and he went outside to meet the police because of an altercation that had happened inside the house.
Yeah, the door must have closed behind him, and it was locked, and that was it.
Then why didn't you answer when the police knocked?
Because they didn't want to let him back in. He was raging drunk.
Okay, but why didn't you just tell the police that? Instead of just not answering?
Why didn't we tell the police?
Come on up, son.
Stand up.
Come on up. How old are you?
19.
19. All right, how come you folks didn't answer the door to the police then?
I was just following orders.
I was pretty much done with it. I was done. And there, it had been happening, and I heard them on the other side of the door. They're like, do you have a place to stay? And he's like, yeah, my mom's on her way. I need clothes for work, which she has because she does his laundry and everything. And
why didn't you just take out clothes for work then?
I'm sorry?
Why didn't you just bring him clothes for work?
I don't I do not want the police in my house, okay?
Apparently, he says the police go there 5 times a month.
Well, no, that's not true.
How often have they been there?
They were there once for an argument between myself and the downstairs tenant, and a lot of times they're around because of the work I do with kids. They come to me for information, and what he's saying is a lie.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Did he give you a security deposit?
Yes, he did.
All right. He wants his $310 back. What is your basis for keeping the $310? And
Notice and damages.
What are the damages?
Broken garbage can.
Do you have pictures?
Okay, this is the room before. This is the room after with cigarette burns all over the floor. This is the screen before he broke it, and the screen after. I mean, that's before, and that's after.
Did you break the screen and make cigarette burns in the carpeting?
I did not, Your Honor.
There's a cigarette burn in the
This is
carpeting.
There were
before.
cigarette burns before I moved in. She shampooed it, and there were still old stains in there.
Where's the screen?
It's in his room, and when he was putting the air conditioner in when he first moved in, he must have like busted it and didn't
Is
tell
that
me.
accurate?
Not accurate.
Why is the screen broken in your room?
I don't even recall being broken.
Okay, well, I'm still looking at a picture, but you think she ripped it for court?
I don't know, Your Honor.
I have the doorknobs here because he broke 2 doorknobs. I have the receipt for the keys. I have the receipt
Okay, I need you to
for...
stop talking.
Okay.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So is it a bad idea for a landlord and a tenant to have a sexual relationship?
Yes, 100%.
Why?
Because you signed a contract, so things could get a little complicated.
But it happens at work. I mean, why is it particularly bad with a landlord-tenant?
I mean, I think it goes back to the old standard of don't make business with pleasure. I mean, you're looking at a lot of money you expect every month from someone, and now you're going to start hooking up with them. It's going to lead to complications.
Okay, and you get the last word.
It's just a bad idea.
What if the landlord was really hot?
Well, you know, you have to make some.
Going inside the courtroom.
All right, here's how I see this. You want to have your security deposit back and the rest of your rent because you feel that when somebody doesn't let you back in, it's an illegal lockout. And that if you have to spend the night somewhere else in your shorts, then no one can expect you to continue living there for another month. I tend to agree with him on that. I know that you kept him out because you've admitted to me that he was drunk, I didn't want him in there, and that's fine if you make that choice, but when you make that choice, there's a cost to you for making that choice. The simple thing to do, because he lives there, he pays rent there, so he's allowed to be in his own apartment drunk. So the simple thing for you to do if you are in fear for your life as opposed to angry that someone's not gonna be around to help you pay rent, the simple thing to do, okay, is to open the door to the police and explain, look, I think he's drunk, because the police will say, you know what, I think she's right, or you're not right, or whatever the police are gonna say. But when you decide to take the law into your own hands and lock out a tenant who has a right to be in his own place when he's drunk, assuming he's drunk, has a right to be there, that's his place, that's where you go when you're drunk and you're gonna pass out, you go to your own place, all right? If you are gonna lock him out, then that's something that you're not allowed to do. And he doesn't have to continue to stay there. Okay, so as to the rest of his rent for that week, I am ordering you to pay it back. As to the security deposit, I'm looking at cigarette burns, a broken screen, and I'm going to deduct from the security deposit. And the amount that I'm going to deduct is $155 for damages. I'm going to order you to return the other $155 plus the remainder of the week's rent, which I find that he gets back because you essentially locked him out and he doesn't have to live there. Even if you let him in the next day, he doesn't have to live there under those circumstances with all of the show that happened the day before. Therefore, I am ordering you to return to him $265.75. I am not ordering lost wages that you cannot prove. That is my verdict. Good luck, folks.
See what the defendant has to say coming out. First of all, just your reaction to the verdict here first.
Really disappointed. I had an IOU. I forgot to give the judge, and he lied, and I'm not happy with it. He should.
Well, you were the landlord. He's the tenant. What do you think about the idea of getting into an intimate relationship with a
It'll
tenant?
never happen again. I'll never do it again.
Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Lesson
He
learned.
actually tried not to get personal with him, but he kind of pushed his way in.
Okay, all right. Head right around
Thank
the
you.
corner there and sign those documents on the way out. All right, so what about what you won in this case after all that?
Well, I was hoping the judge asked me once, even if I was drinking that premises, where the cops would question me on that factor. But that wasn't the case. There was more lies came out, and there was really not much to be said.
Mm-hmm. What about from your side of it? You're a tenant getting into an intimate relationship with your landlord? What kind of an idea is that?
One to learn from,
What'd you learn?
not to do it.
Okay, Harvey, what do you got?
Okay, Kurt. In many states, a landlord who locks a tenant out illegally not only will have to pay damages, but 3 times the damages that the tenant actually suffers, and that is considered a penalty. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.